welcome to the Let's Enjoy Piano Self-Expression Method. We're going to do a time for us. If you're just beginning, it's a great song. If you played a little, you can enhance it. If you have the book, Let's Enjoy Piano, Self-Expressive Skills, and we're going to be using our self-expressive skills, improvising, accompaniment, analyzing some composition, composing, and jamming on the basic level. So, if you have the book, page 46A I'm looking at, and also 44A goes through melody centering, the chords, and how the melody comes out of the chords. So you have to know your chords, your basic chords on the white keys: C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. So that's all laid out on page 46A. It's also on the bottom of page 3 to know your chords, which are skips of the alphabet, or a skip of your fingers, and a skip of the, on the notes, on the staff it would be a line, 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 or space, space, space would be written as that. And most, if I just arpeggiate the chord, if I just roll the chord, that's a straight arpeggio. If I put in a non-chord tone that doesn't match, here's the chord tones. Now sometimes melody has all chord tones, 100%, but usually it has a couple chord tones and a non-chord tone. And there's different names for the non-chord tones, which is to keep it simple now, just non-chord tones and chord tones. So when we look at A Time for Us, which is the theme of Romeo and Juliet, here's a lead sheet. You have a vocal line, melody, and chords. And the right hand is laid out in the notes, and the left hand is the chord. But they're all one structure. The right hand and left hand are all in this song, in most songs, they match position. They're in A minor, both hands. You'll see on page 46, matched or extended position. Mostly in here we're in matched position. Both hands are doing the same chord. So if you have a lead sheet, and any lead sheet, you lay out, you prepare your music, lay out, know what the chord is, and then see the notes in what relation the melody notes are to the chord root. So the root A minor, the root is A minor, the chord is ACE. That's the chord. The next note, the chord flow, goes to E minor, goes to F, goes to C. That's just the chord positions. Now the left hand stays in the same position as a rolled chord or a block chord. And then the right hand, this is root position A minor. The composer, Nino Rota in this case, had to pick out chord tones or non-chord tones, and non-chord tones, excuse me, to make a melody. He could have just went, which is like a song called Abracadabra from the 80s. So here he chose, he put in a non-chord tone. So he chose the root, the third, and the 2. And then he went to E minor, and he chose the root. And then he went to the third. Those are your main choices, root, third, and fifth. And I've laid it out the 3 choices on the downbeat of a chord. When you hit the chord in the right hand, you're going to choose your thumb, you're going to choose your third, or you're going to choose your 5, usually. If you're not going to choose that, you're going to choose another note. That's called an appoggiatura. It's a non-chord tone on the downbeat. So if I started with 2, like the song Yesterday by the Beatles, it's based on an F chord, but the note is G. So it starts on a non-chord tone, doesn't match the F chord. F is F-A-C. So that's an appoggiatura, but it'll jump, it'll just lean, it'll fall right into, appoggiatura means leaning, into the chord tone. So in this case, Nino Rota, he chose root, third, second, then he got into E minor position and he chose root. Then a root again. Now he went to the F chord, and he chose the third. He's already picked the chord flow, which is A minor, E minor, F, and C. Same chords basically as the Pachelbel canon in the key of C. However, it's a different melody. We have, now we go to F, which is a third. There's the non-chord tone, because F and A. C with a G, and D minor with a root. So in that first line, he's picked a root and a third. Root, 1, 3, 1. If you lay your hands out in a regular root position, 1 is 1, 3 is 3, 5 is 5, so that you can learn your root, third, and fifth of a chord. So I got 1, 3, 2. 1, 1, 3, 1, 3. Starts out with 3 on F. 2, 1. Now he starts out with 5 on C. And it goes right down to D minor, root, 1. There's a little turnaround. Goes upper neighbor, lower neighbor, back to the root again. That's a little doodad. And then A minor with the fifth. So if you label your fingers, in this case, when you're just starting, everything in root position works out nicely. You label your finger 1 is the root, finger 3 is the third, finger 2 is called the second, finger 5 is the fifth, and the note after the downbeat is the note after the bar line is the downbeat. So that's the downbeat. So what you have is the setting the stage of your position, and then you can move to the follow up with the other fingers or the other notes. But once you stay in position, you're in good shape there. Oops, my fault. And A minor. And then he jumps back up to the A minor. Same thing again. Now he's changing, he's putting a root in high. So a high root, you're not going to use these fingers up here in D minor. However, if you're a little more advanced, when you have a root as the melody, the chord is in first inversion. So the F and A is not up here, but it's down here. And the first inversion is 1, 2, 5. In other words, we flipped the D minor, the D, we flipped it up to the top. Because that's what the composer wants the melody up here. We always hear the highest note. So there's the first time you're flipping an inversion. If not, you're just starting out, just play root position with your thumb. That's the root position. You're not going to use these two. If you're a little more advanced, bring these two down, and you set the harmony. This is the melody, this is the harmony, and here's the bass line. So you have bass, harmony, melody. That's how it's all laid out across your both hands. And now he goes to E minor, root position. And now A minor. And then he goes E minor half. And A minor root. Or first inversion. And if you do first inversion, you can play an octave. If you do root chord in root position, you play one note and you play the chord. It's all laid out in the book. I'm just summarizing the layout. In root position, 1 octave. In first inversion, 2 octaves. A and A down here. And you can see the A minor right in the middle. So I have everything laid out so I don't have to think. I have all my fingers laid out. The position F half, which is the 1 and 3, is a half. A full chord is a root position chord C, that's a 5. So if you lay those things out, and if you want to take any online lessons, I can go through this if you bought the book. You have any questions, and I thank everyone for people that did buy the book over the last 30 years. It's helped out a lot of people, and it's a very efficient method. As you can see, you can start out basically like this, and then we could expand it into different inversions. You can do, and with this one we can go, and then you can see you can expand it out in inversions. People are a little more advanced, that's on page 29A, the root chord, the first inversion, second inversion. And 38A, which is targeting the root of a chord for the inversions. The bottom of 38A, and targeting notes. So that's the basic verse of A Time for Us. Or hit the A minor first. First do your chord flow. A minor to E minor. F to C. What is it? D minor to A minor. Everything's match position. You go right along. Just starting out, you can play this in a couple weeks. Some students have played it in a couple days, and some advanced students that have played other instruments have been able to play this in a couple hours. So just if you have your fingers a little supple. But you have to get that chord flow down. Nice chord flow. And then you pick out the notes. Roll the left hand. And usually on the downbeat you have a little time. Right, and here you have a dotted quarter note, a longer note. So that gives you time to roll the left hand. That's a staggered approach. You hit the downbeat, roll the left hand, and finish up the other notes. You can play octaves if you're a little more advanced. Now here's that first inversion, D minor. E minor, A minor, 3, 2, 1, and it stretches down to the 7. E minor, and A minor root, or, okay, so that's the verse. Now the bridge, it goes with a fold-in idea. It's just like Pachelbel's canon. If you want to go to my Pachelbel canon, you'll see C, second inversion, or half. From a half chord to a full chord. Half a D minor to A minor, full. That's this song. Pachelbel goes half, full, half A minor, full E minor. So I call this half, half, half. In Time for Us, it goes C half, full, G, D minor half, A minor full. And you tell that by looking at the melody. Here's the middle part, the C chord here, the E. The E is the highest note, so that's the third of the chord, C, E, G. So I know it's got to be a half. The G, the melody note is D. That's the fifth. So I know it's got to be a full chord. And this is constant, this is a conscious decision by the composer. I'm going to go to a third, to a fifth, to a third, to a fifth, to a third, to a fifth, another fifth, and a root to end it. That's the bridge. So the bridge, he goes 3, 5, then D minor, 3, 5 on A minor, 3 on B flat, 5 on F. So it behooves you to study page 3, know your chord families, and what's the third of B flat, what's the third of A flat, A minor, which is C. The third of B flat is D. What's the fifth of B flat? F. You know, it's all laid out, root, third, fifth. Write them out for yourself, C, E, G, D, F, A, and know your families. So in the middle part, it's pretty neat with the half a C, full G, half a D minor, and A minor full. If you're a little more advanced, a half a chord is a second inversion. Puts the third on top. Still, whether you play a half here or you play inversion, you still have the third note on top. And G root. Then D minor, half or second inversion. And if you use the second inversion, which is here's C, you flip it one time, first inversion, flip it up again. You're just rearranging the notes. You have a second inversion. Root position, first inversion, second inversion. So the second inversion, when you go from a second inversion chord to a root, you can fold in. I don't move my thumb, because from a C to a G, there's a common note. G belongs to a C chord, and it belongs to a G chord. So you can fold it in, or you can play half full. Fold in, or half full. Then the next group, and you see I have it laid out here from C to G in phrasing, and then from D minor to A minor. So I group my positions. I call it fold in. So I'm folding in, or half full. Then half full, or fold in, and B flat, half full, and then E minor and A minor. So the middle part is, and you can play an octave here or play a chord. G, root half, D minor, full A minor, half B flat, full F, full E minor, and root A minor, or A minor with a root. And then it starts. The middle part, half, I'm leaving out a few notes, but basically that's the idea. It's getting from here to there. Finish it off with, or you can go up here, I finish it sometimes. And then come down. Or if you're more advanced, play the roll right up, and then A minor. We're nice and even. So you can just fool around, get familiar with the chords. There I jumped around a little, then I did a nice even ending. So that's the whole song. If you just started, I teach a class at a college that in a month people are playing these songs in the basic form with no experience before they came into the class. Within 4 weeks, putting practice in, You can't do it just in 4 weeks of the class. You have to put your time in. But that's the whole idea of the Let's Enjoy Piano method, and then you could express it. It goes to the next level, how to enhance it, embellish it, accompany, how to compose a song, how to jam with a song if you're doing a walking bass song. So there's so many options. It's a toolbox for every type of music that you want to play, but it gives you the essence of what you really need to know to get the job done. So hope that helped you out. It's quite extensive as a beginning level, but you can break this up and listen. So email me at email@letsenjoypiano.com if you want a little refresher, a couple online lessons. And if you want to pick up the book, go to the website, www.letsenjoypiano.com. Okay, any questions, let me know. Thank you very much, and I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoy yourself at the piano playing A Time for Us. Thank you very much.